The West Philippine Sea, a vital region in global trade and a key strategic point in Asia, is once again at the center of rising tensions. China continues its aggressive actions, attempting to establish control over disputed territories, putting the Philippines in a difficult position. But this time, the international community is taking action. England and France, two of the world's most powerful nations, have stepped in to prevent a Chinese takeover. What does this mean for the region? How will it impact global stability? Stick around as we break down this developing story. For years, China has been pushing its claims over the South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea, despite international rulings dismissing its so-called 9-dash line. The Philippines has been on the front lines, defending its sovereignty against this maritime giant. But with limited military resources, the country has struggled to push back against Chinese naval incursions. The country's military exercises last week are likely to displease China, which claims ownership over most of the South China Sea. France and the Philippines have vowed to deepen their alliance after carrying out joint combat exercises in the disputed South China Sea last week. In a display of military strength that is likely to anger China, the two countries conducted anti-submarine warfare drills and aerial combat training. Following the exercises, the French nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the Charles de Gaulle, docked on Friday at Subic Bay, a former U.S. naval base northwest of Manila. The United Kingdom has reaffirmed its support for the Philippines' policy and position on dealing with issues in the South China Sea amid Chinese aggression. During his recent visit to London, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo met with UK National Security Advisor Jonathan Powell and exchanged views on the South China Sea and other regional issues. Manalo welcomed the strengthening partnerships of the Philippines with like-minded countries, such as the UK, in upholding a rules-based international order and the rule of law in the Indo-Pacific. The Indo-Pacific is critical to the UK's economy, security, and interest in a free and open international order. Reinforcing the strengthening UK-Philippines relationship, Baroness Goldie will conduct meetings at the Department for National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines HQ to discuss the UK's Indo-Pacific strategy and the importance of maritime security and upholding maritime law. The minister will attend the closing ceremony of Exercise Sama-Sama, which the UK has joined alongside other nations, supporting international defense cooperation and the rules-based international order. HMS Spey, a Royal Navy offshore patrol vessel, will be participating in the naval exercise. HMS Spey, one of the greenest ships in the Royal Navy, is part of a 5-year operation to the Indo-Pacific region alongside her sister ship, HMS Tamar. Working with partners, the ship is helping tackle security challenges, supporting efforts against illegal, unregulated, and unreported fisheries activity, and supporting nations to deal with the impacts of climate change. Manalo noted, "The tensions in the South China Sea remain due to the continuing illegal, coercive, aggressive, and deceptive actions against legitimate operations by Philippine authorities in the maritime zones under our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction." He emphasized the Philippines' commitment to resolving these matters through diplomacy and peaceful means on the basis of international law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Manalo also had a dialogue in person and online with at least 500 attendees at the Royal Institute of International Affairs. The Secretary underscored the Philippine position on South China Sea disputes, stating, "It has been clear and consistent. Maritime claims cannot exceed the limits set by the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea." The Philippines will defend its national interests and maritime entitlements, but we are committed to diplomacy and the peaceful settlement of disputes. France and the Philippines signed an agreement to enhance military cooperation and joint exercises in late 2023. They are now also negotiating a deal that would allow their troops to conduct training in each other's territory. French officials have submitted a draft proposal to Manila to initiate discussions. The Philippines has already signed similar agreements with the US and Australia. Although France has been increasing its defense partnerships with Southeast Asian countries that are embroiled in maritime disputes with China, Paris has insisted that its activities are focused on emergency preparedness and do not target any specific nation. China, however, has objected to the presence of foreign military forces in the South China Sea, particularly those of the US and its allies. Beijing claims sovereignty over nearly the entire waterway, though it has not officially defined what it considers to be the boundaries. These claims overlap with those of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, leading to long-standing territorial disputes. Tensions flared again 2 weeks ago when Australia accused a Chinese J-16 fighter jet of launching flares dangerously close to one of its P-8 Poseidon surveillance aircraft over the South China Sea. The battle for the West Philippine Sea is far from over, but with strong allies like England and France stepping up, the Philippines is gaining much-needed support. Will this international cooperation be enough to deter China's ambitions? Only time will tell. What do you think about this global power shift? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates on global conflicts, geopolitics, and military affairs. Until next time, stay informed and stay vigilant.